Guys, what's going on? Welcome to Serial at Midnight. My name is Heath, and in this video, we are talking about the first two releases from Cauldron Films, a brand new horror genre cult movie distributor. Actually, from the people behind, there's involvement from the people behind Diabolic DVD, which is one of the most respected, if not the most respected, independent genre horror retailer in the whole scene. People love Diabolic DVD, and this is their logo. This is the Cauldron Films logo. I love it. This image, this is a magnet that came with these two releases. This image speaks so much about what this label is. It's horror, but it's also, like, I look at this, I see kind of punk rock, I see kind of underground, I see kind of like garage DIY kind of stuff. It speaks to me. I love it so much. And the product itself, with the pedigree behind the creation of this line, this Cauldron Films line, you know, these are people that have not only been fans of this for a long time, but they've also sold it, and they've been involved in kind of the promotion of this stuff, and they really know all the ins and outs of the cult films game. You know what I mean? And so these two releases are so representative of for the fans, by the fans. I mean, from a physical perspective alone, just look at the packaging for this. And I've taken lots of photos. I'll probably run those photos over this to complement this video. But I mean, the presentation of these, and I want to say, presentation is not everything. We don't collect these movies for presentation. We collect the movies because we love the movies themselves. But when you bump that up to the next level with stellar packaging, it pushes it to, like I said, it pushes it to that next level, and it's this whole other thing. This is the total package, you guys. These movies, I've seen both of the movies. I've watched the special features. It's really fantastic. I'm so excited. I cannot convey. I'm going to try, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to convey how enthusiastic I feel about Cauldron Films. As you can see, both of these movies have slip cases. They're like side-loading slip cases. They're incredibly sturdy. They're thick. They're not, flimsy. So inside we have a Blu-ray. The Blu-ray case, here's our special features. You can pause at any point to see, for yourself what's included in these, but we're going to go through it. In this release, we have the Blu-ray. These are like, they're like lobby cards. They're not necessarily cards, but they're like lobby cards. And there's actually also here, there's a CD soundtrack. This is upside down. There's a CD soundtrack of the accompanying music to this. Here's the breakdown of the tracks on the CD. And then we have a reversible art wrap as well. It's a little bit of a variation on the art that we actually have. So that's just the physical presentation. Again, not even getting into loading the disc in. Let's go through American Rickshaw really quick. This was Abrakadabra from 2018. American Rickshaw, 1989 movie. Once again, Blu-ray, or the Blu-ray case. We have the disc itself. We have reversible art wrap. And an essay, like a written, here's a booklet with an actual essay written by, I believe, one of the people behind Cauldron Films. And it's kind of a plea it expresses what I love about these movies. We're going to get into that again in just a second, but you can see the level of quality just in the presentation. But the presentation means nothing if the product itself, the movies, do not reflect the attention deserved, and I think that they really do. So let's just kick it off with Abrakadabra. This is a 2018 movie. Guys, this is a Giallo. For those not initiated, Giallo is an Italian style of, I say Italian, it's kind of been picked up by other, it's definitely European though, right? Like, I think Giallo is a European-based subgenre of horror. And there are certain motifs, there are certain themes, trademarks, calling cards that run through all of Giallo. And by all accounts, it ended a long time ago. They don't make Giallos anymore, except they do. This is from the Onetti brothers, written by Carlos Goitia, Luciano Onetti, and Nicholas Onetti. I believe these guys are Argentinian, but if I could be wrong. If I am wrong, please forgive and just let me know. But I believe that either way, what they've accomplished here is like a love letter to the Giallo. And this is actually their third one. And it's interesting because in the process of these three movies, it's gone from kind of tribute to full-fledged pure of the Giallo film. And I'm not going to spoil any of the plot. As if, you know, that's another thing about a lot of these Italian movies, is it's not like they're plot heavy. Some of them are, but Italian movies are also known for their dreamlike quality. What's reality? What is not reality? How do these things interact with each other? This movie is no different, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And here's another cool thing, a 2018 movie, but you would not know. I almost feel like maybe I shouldn't even have mentioned that, because this movie looks like it was made 40 years ago, if not longer. Like, it looks like maybe it's 1980, maybe even late 70s. I don't know. The cars, the fashion, it's you know, the buildings and everything. It looks like someone found this forgotten Giallo. You guys know the story behind Miami Connection, how they kind of found this 80s action movie that no one had, like, so many people had never seen. It's like this. It's like we found a movie from 40 years ago that we never knew about. Now we can just kind of enjoy it. But it's not. It's from the Onetti brothers, and it's new, and it's kind of awesome. So I've had a really good time discovering this. I've only watched it once, and I feel like I need to watch it again, because as with a lot of Giallos, you kind of need to go back and be like, oh, okay. It's not like The Sixth Sense or anything like that necessarily, but you kind of need to. They make sense. They make more sense the more you watch them. Someone actually said that Italian movies have no plot. I think they do. I think they're more about feelings and moods and character than they are about, like, A to B, B to C. You know what I'm saying? Let's move on to American Rickshaw. This is a 1989 movie from Sergio Martino, Italian director. Hands of Steel, right? That's Sergio Martino. He did spaghetti westerns. Here's the thing. I love Italian cinema. It's one of my favorite foreign cinemas. I mean, you guys, we talk about it a lot. If you're familiar with this channel, you know I talk about Italian movies a lot. I love spaghetti westerns. I love the spy movies. I love the Euro crime movies. I love the entire oeuvre of Italian movies. Sergio Martino seems to have walked in a lot of those genres. He's not like a one genre director. He's done a lot of different things. This movie is impossible to define. It's impossible to describe. I'm not even sure how exactly to. You know what? If you've seen Big Trouble in Little China, which I hope you have, that's kind of that's the closest thing I could compare this to. That movie was so many Italian. That movie was John Carpenter. It was John Carpenter's love letter to kind of the kung fu movies and the mysticism and all that stuff. This is kind of like that, but a very Italian sensibility. You guys, it's got action, it's got horror, it's got like eroticism. It walks in between all these genres. And in the essay, in this book, A Cobra and Coconut Grove, come on. In this essay, that's kind of the plea, because here's the thing. We've talked also about how so many cult labels, cult distributors, Italian horror, like Giallo stuff, really sells. You get outside of that, not so much. The Italian action movies seem to have less demand. And I read this essay as an impassioned plea from the author here to just saying, like, guys, this is incredible. These people are incredible. And they made so many things in so many genres, and they're all weird and they're all crazy, and a lot of you haven't discovered it yet. Please come explore some of these movies with us. It's fringe cinema in the best of ways, and that's what I love about it. You know, a lot of these Italian directors made a lot of movies that aren't horror, but are still bonkers and don't follow rules, and were made for very low budgets in the Philippines, and this was shot in Miami, so it's kind of like Big Trouble in Little China transplanted to Miami with weirdness, with horror elements and all this stuff. But these guys worked, Bruno Mattei, all these guys would make, like after Rambo was a huge hit, they'd make all these Rambo exploitation movies, like in the Philippines and stuff. And so many of those are underrepresented on Blu-ray and in the fan base. And so it makes me so encouraged to see that the people behind Cauldron Films have seen that, and they're serving that. They're digging deep. These are not movies that we have bought 3 or 4 times. These are probably not movies that you've ever seen on DVD before, because I think Abrakadabra is relatively new, but American Rickshaw, I don't think it ever had a DVD release, at least not in the United States. These are like new discoveries for us. and they're like deep cuts, and I'm so encouraged by this because, again, I talk about this a lot. I want to see more preservation of not just the most popular stuff, but the fringe stuff as well. I've been waiting for someone to lean into these Italian movies that I love so much. Cauldron Films has absolutely done that. Guys, I can't recommend these to you enough. The value for the package. Now, these were sent to me for review, but you can grab both of these from Cauldron Films right now for, you know, 55 to 60 bucks. You know, they were going, when they first were announced, there was a bundle. You could get both of these at a reduced price. And it's for the fans, by the fans. These guys know what they're doing. So I don't know. I give these Serial at Midnight's highest recommendations. Now, if you're watching this, if you're not into Giallo and stuff like that, you know what you're into. But I recommend these if this is something that you're curious about. If you're a die-hard horror fan and you haven't watched a lot of stuff that's outside of that box, you're in for a treat because this stuff is super cool. So I'm going to leave it there. That's really what I have to say about these. I absolutely love these releases. There's exciting news coming any day now from Cauldron Films about the next 2 releases. From what I understand, these have been big sellers. There's a lot of support for these, and the fan community has latched on like crazy. So if you do pick these up from Cauldron Films or from Diabolic DVD, please let them know that Serial at Midnight sent you, because we want them to know that we've covered the stuff. We want them to know that we've helped to elevate the audience. You know what I mean? That we have reported on this and we've been influential in our coverage. So that's the way that you can help and support independent film distribution, support the fringes of horror cinema, of genre cinema, cult cinema, by grabbing these and picking these up. Guys, thanks so much. Take care. And until next time, I will catch you later.